When participating in any exercise program, there is a possibility of physical injury and an increased load on the heart, which may result in dizziness, shortness of breath, and in extreme circumstances may result in a heart attack. If you experience any dizziness or pain, stop exercising immediately and seek medical attention as required. By participating in this exercise program, you agree to freely accept all associated risks, dangers, and hazards. The governors of the University of Alberta, their officers, employees, and volunteers are not responsible for any injury or loss of any kind sustained by you while participating. Consult your physician before beginning any exercise program.
Hi there, I'm Chelsea Coghill with Campus and Community Recreation, and this office yoga sequence is going to be focusing on the wrists, forearms, and elbows. So this first portion can be done seated if you wish. I'm going to be standing. First, we'll do some rotations through the wrists. So what you'll do is sitting or standing up nice and tall with the spine stacked, taking the elbows and pinning them in towards the waist. And then we're going to extend the wrists down. So bring some tension into the entire body at about 50%. So through the legs, through your trunk, and through your arms. Extending the fingertips strongly down towards the floor. And we're going to start to adduct the fingertips in towards the midline of the body as we rotate through the wrists. Bringing the fingertips to point in towards the torso and then out, away from the body. And then one more slow, controlled rotation like that. Back in, out to the side, and then pointing down. And then we'll reverse that direction. So taking the fingertips out towards the side, bringing the fingertips in towards midline, extending the wrists down towards the floor, and then one more slow, controlled rotation in that direction. Good, keeping the forearms nice and still. Good, from there we can release that down. Next, we'll move through some elbow rotations. So again, pinning the elbows nice and tightly in towards the midline, tension through the body at about 50% again. We'll start with the palms facing out, and you're gonna extend fully through the elbows. And then we'll flip the palms to face down and then flex the elbows, coming back up. Once more like that, rotating, extending the arms down, full extension of the elbows, rotating back in and flexing at the elbows. Now we'll reverse that. So palms face out, extending the elbows down, rotating at the elbow, palms face forward and flexing at the elbows. Once more there, extend. And then flex. Good. And then just moving that a little bit. So if it's accessible, we'll come down to hands and knees or to a quadruped tabletop position. So just spreading the fingertips nice and wide, walking the knees back so that the knees stack over hips and shoulders are nicely stacked over top of the wrists. And we're just going to start with a little bit of knee-hand rocking. So just 5 repetitions. I'm going to send my hips towards my heels and I'm going to inhale forward so that the shoulders come back to stack over the wrists. So exhaling hips to heels, inhaling forward, exhaling back, just finding a nice smooth, fluid motion with your body, with your movement, and with the breath. So just beginning to bear some weight into the hands, warming through the wrists. Good. Coming back so that shoulders stack over wrists again. And we're just going to gently shift the weight side to side. So again, we want to feel some sensation, maybe a bit of intensity through the wrists, but we don't want to experience any pain. So just moving shy of any pain in any position or movement. So we're just shifting 5 times per side in each direction. From here, we're going to turn the fingertips to point out. So externally rotating the arms and the same motion there. So just 5 repetitions, knee hand rocking, inhaling forward, exhaling the hips back down. And then again, we'll just gently shift the weight from side to side, 5 times per direction. Just think about maintaining a bit of tension through your trunk. So just not letting that core collapse. Good. rotating the arms a little bit further so the fingertips point back towards the knees. As best we can, we're going to extend through the elbows, so straightening the arms as best we can. And you can always decrease the intensity here by taking the knees a little bit closer towards the fingertips or walking them back. And again, some gentle rocking forward and back, opening through wrists and forearms 5 times. Ensure that you're breathing, and then we'll just take that side to side again, and 5 times per direction. Okay, and so we'll just gently come back out of that. I'm going to flip my palms to face up so that the backs of my hands are now on the mat. From this position, as best I can, I'm going to extend or straighten through the elbows. And again, I'm going to rock forward and back 5 times. Just nice, slow, smooth, controlled breaths. And again, side to side. Your elbows might not fully extend, and that's okay. Just keep the fingertips spreading nice and wide, spreading away from one another. Good. After 5 repetitions, gently releasing that out. You can just come into a seated position and just do some gentle wrist rotations one way and the other to release that out. So from here, I'm going to turn my palms to face out, fingertips come onto the floor. My thumbs will be away from the floor, and my elbows are going to be pointed back towards my torso. So I'm spreading the thumbs away from each other. From here, I'm going to extend my elbows gently and then bend in towards my torso. Inhaling, extending through the arms, and exhaling, bending through the elbows. Extend and bend. It doesn't have to be a big range of motion. Again, 5 repetitions like this. And we'll just hold in this position with bent elbows for 3 breaths. Good. After your 3rd breath, just gently releasing that back. I'm going to sit back onto my heels and take the backs of the hands together and interlace or weave the fingers together, drawing the backs of the hands. And I'm going to, starting at the top of my sternum, just gently dropping my hands a little bit lower. So just feeling that opening at the backs of the wrist, sitting up nice and tall. You can hold here in this position, sort of at that first point of resistance or that edge where you feel that intensity or sensation. And you can also just gently move in and out. So inhaling, taking the hands up, exhaling, dropping the hands back down. So just holding for at least 3 breaths in this position. Good. And again, gently releasing that. We're going to come back on to the hands and the knees. And this time we're just going to mobilize into the upper back. So when we're at our keyboards or on our devices, we tend to kind of fall into this forward flexed or hunched position, and the back muscles get overstretched and weak. So we just want to mobilize and activate that space in between the shoulder blades. So I'm going to take my tabletop knee hand position. I'm going to drop my spine down so that my shoulder blades squeeze together, my head's relaxed, and my pelvis is relaxed. On the exhale, I'm going to push up in between my shoulder blades. So this is called a rhomboid push-up or a scapular push-up. So we're spreading the shoulder blades together, and then we're just dropping the spine down. So just notice if your pelvis wants to move with it. Just keep the pelvis nice and relaxed. The head is relaxed. And we're just inhaling, pushing that space in between the shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, letting the chest melt down towards the floor. Inhaling, lifting up between the shoulder blades. Exhale, letting that chest melt back down. One more repetition like that. Inhaling, rounding through the upper back. And exhale, sinking down in between the shoulder blades. We'll do the same thing with the hands, fingertips pointed out. So inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, dropping down. Inhale, rounding through that upper back. Exhale, letting the chest melt down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And then inhale, lift. Pressing the ground away from you. Exhale, drop down. Last time, inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower. Good. From here, we're going to do a little bit of some knuckle raises, and that's just to draw some strength into the forearm and into the hands. So you're going to come onto your hands and knees. I'm going to press all 10 fingers down towards the floor. On the inhale, I'm going to press up onto my fingertips with the thumbs lifted. And on the count of 3, I'm going to slowly lower my palm back down to the floor. Inhale, lifting up. Onto the 4 fingers, thumbs are lifted. Exhale with control, slowly dropping the heels of the hands down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. Pressing the finger pads strongly in towards the ground. Exhale on the count of 3, lowering back down. Last time here, inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. So we'll do that same movement again, but just with the fingertips pointing out. Inhaling, lifting up onto the 4 fingers, and exhale, lowering down slowly with control until the heels of the hands touch. Inhaling, lift. Exhale, lower. And inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And lower. Last time here, inhale, press up. And then exhale slowly on the count of 3, lower back down. Good. So again, sitting back, rolling out through the wrists, the fingers, and the elbows, and carry on with the next portion of your workday.